I was going to try to do another trail today because I'm pretty sick of this trail. But the park, I think, is closed. I tried to get there anyways, but the roads are so bad. I said, this ain't worth it. I like that park because the trail is a little bit more AT-like, a lot of ups and downs and rocks and roots and all that good stuff. But it would be closed, and I've had running with Ranger Rick there before when I've gone beyond the closed gate and hiked anyways. And Ranger Rick's the guy that's asked me on one occasion if I needed some place to stay the night. It's not the first time since January I've been asked if I'm homeless. It's now happened 3 times. So I've always wondered what the hell would happen if I said yeah. Anyways, let's get down this trail. So at my house I've got this darling neighbor, an older lady across the street. Actually older than me, I think. And she apparently keeps track on when I go out every morning and when I come back. And if it's over 4.5, 5 hours, she calls my wife and asks her, is Byron okay? It's pretty bad out. He's been gone for 4.5 or 5 hours. And my wife knows me. She knows I'm in no danger. So, but anyways, Phyllis asked a couple days ago where I was going to spend the night. And I said, well, I'm going to sleep outside for 5 months. She said, you're kind of old. Are you comfortable with that? And I said, yeah. So truth be told, in 1971 and 1972, I was in the Peace Corps, Korea. And Korea at the time was really poor country. Nothing to buy, very poor. And I lived with a family that was really poor in a thatched roof house with basically adobe brick walls. I'll try to post a picture out of that, of my residence. And the house didn't have any running water. The bathroom was a hole in the ground with 2 boards over the top and newspaper on the side for you know what. It didn't have any heating. It did have flues to the floor, something the Koreans call an ondopon. And at night you would put a coal briquette in the floor and it would heat up the floor. So in the morning, if you were still alive, your back would be burning up, but your nose would be freezing. And so I told her, and you had to sleep with the window open because carbon monoxide was more of a danger than freezing. Korea does get cold, at least it did in the 70s. Got down in the 20s and 30s in January and February. So I told the family, hey, I really don't like having the coal. I'm worried about carbon monoxide poisoning. And I had to sleep with the window open. And what I didn't tell them was their house was right next to a junkyard. And on 2 occasions, I had a big old rat come in through the window and jump right down onto my stomach. So I said, hey, we got to do something different. Anyways, years later, my mom asked me when I got back what it was like. And I said, well, it was like camping for 2 years because I was sleeping on a hard surface. I did have a mat underneath me, but it was like camping. And she said, well, didn't that bother you? I said, no. Even to this day, I still prefer sleeping on a hard surface on a ground as opposed to a soft bed. So I don't see sleeping outside for 5 months a major issue with me. So I am taking a bear vault, and it's not just because I invested in it. I've tried to both. I'm taking a bear vault because I like the simplicity. And as I've said before, all of my gear serves dual purposes. If I can't do 2 things, you're not coming. And the bear vault makes a really nice seat. And in the past, when I've used a bear hang, and I have one, I've noticed, hey, I waste 20 minutes to half an hour every day competing for tree branches. And quite frankly, early in the morning, especially if you get up and hike before dawn, all bear bags look the same. So I want to keep it simple. I'll hide the bear vault in the woods, underneath a log or whatever. And my only fear is, of course, a bear could come up and roll it down a hill or move it somewhere. I usually secure it pretty well, but it's also got a reflective tape on it, so I can see it in the dark with a flashlight, a headlamp. And I also put one of those acid-finding tiles, velcroed it to or didn't velcro it, I glued it to the bottom side of the bear vault. And test out my theory, I had my neighbor hide it somewhere in my backyard and tried to see if I could find it using Tiles app on my iPhone. And sure enough, it was pretty effective up to about 200 feet. So that damn bear would have to haul that thing pretty far for me not to be able to find it. I know it's heavy, but after, when you factor in the carabiner and the rope or the lead that you got to use in that bear bag and the bear bag itself, and I just like the bear vault. Also, I'm not really afraid of bears eating my food. It's more the field mice and raccoons that have this ability to climb up. And I've watched too many videos on the Blue Planet and nature where our bears were climbing trees, and I was astounded how far and where a black bear could go if he really was so disposed. So I'm going with the bear vault. So a little bit about my sleep system. It's been really cold in Kansas City for the last 10 days or so. That polar vortex came down and just squatted over the Midwest. So it's been like minus 11 at night. But this turned out to be a good thing because I have a sunroom, an unheated sunroom on my house, and I use it as a laboratory for the last 2 weeks to check down my sleep system. So I started out with an Everest bag, or a zero degree bag that I used when I climbed up Everest back in 2012, and tried it various configurations with or without a liner, and with a Thermarest Neo, and I found out I was getting up every morning about 4 in the morning. I was cold, and it was coming up through the ground or through the base of the deck. So I upgraded to a Thermarest X-Therm, which has a R rating of 6.9 as opposed to the other one, which only had 3.2, and that made a big difference. But I still thought, geez, this Everest bag, it's nice, but I don't have a Sherpa to carry it this time, so I need to get something lighter. So I got a Z-Packs quilt, 10 degree, and kudos to Z-Packs. Their customer service was great. They got me the bag a week before I actually even expected it, so I was really impressed with them. And that situation, or that configuration, works out great. It worked. I quit doing this when it got down to -5 on the deck in the morning, but yeah, it works out great. So I've read a lot of journals and looked at a lot of YouTube videos where people give epic tales about how they got up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get an early start or to avoid the rain or whatever. I guess they didn't notice that their video showed it raining when they were leaving. But my gut reaction has always been, these guys got up at 4 o'clock in the morning because it was freaking cold and they couldn't take it anymore, and they were just tossing and turning. So I don't want that to be the case. I like my sleep. I don't mind walking in the rain, sleet, hail, or whatever. But I do like to sleep warm at night and dry. So I got that down. See you down the road. So I ended up making it back into suburbia off the trail, and I ended up doing 15 miles. But it felt like 30 because the snow in some places is 6 to 7 inches deep, and I didn't wear my my cleats, and I regret that. So I'm kind of torn up right now. it did warm up enough so I could get my normal hiking hat on, the DerDieDas hat. I like to wear this hat on the trail because, well, it's distinctive and you can see it from a quarter mile away. So it's a warning to the hikers up ahead. Hey, look, that's DerDieDas. Hurry up, let's get out of here. He's coming. So I like to wear it. It's again, it's distinctive. It's warm. My daughter, one of our daughters, says it makes me look like Captain Von Trapp from the Sound of Music, but that's okay. He was a pretty handsome guy, and I like to think I am too. So see you tomorrow.